Hello, today we're going to make Pop Art Pugs. Head over to the Navigating Photoshop section and look at the Pop Art Pug Google slideshow for some specific instructions, but this tutorial is going to look at how to blur the lines using the eraser tool around our pug to make it look like a more natural image. We're also going to look at how to pick a color scheme and stick to a color scheme. Right now I'm just dropping the pug picture in. You can pick any picture you'd like that is open to Creative Commons or public domain. I'm selecting the pug. There's lots of ways to do this. I used object selection. You can use the lasso tool. I'm not too worried about a lot of the details, but I do want to grab these details on the inside. So I'm just using a couple of my tools to select everything. I'm going to invert the background and delete it in a minute. I'm just checking that I have everything I want. And after rasterizing that image, I can delete it and I can deselect it. I'm actually going to put a darker color in so you can see the background and how my pug doesn't actually mesh very well with the background. I actually want to blur the lines. I'm using an eraser tool here to do this. You can use the background eraser tool or just a regular eraser tool for this. I'm choosing the regular eraser. I'm bringing the hardness all the way down, using a soft eraser, bringing the opacity down to 24% on that eraser. And I'm going to speed this up real quick. But I'm going to go around the entire pug, and I'm going to blur this out just a little bit. I'm switching between background eraser and regular eraser, and for most of this I use the regular eraser. And I can really kind of help my pug look nice against this background by taking this simple step. It'll take you just a couple minutes. I promise you it's worth the effort. So now that that's done, we need to pick a color palette. So I'm heading over to this tool, Color Wheel Picker, and I'm going to choose triadic or complementary or split complementary. These are all high contrast color choices because they have colors that are on opposite sides of the wheel. Monochromatic, analogous are not good choices. I'm sticking with triadic myself. I'm happy with this selection. I'm going to go to the little magnifying glass symbol and type in screenshot. It's up at the top of your page. And I'm going to select that and hit capture. And I now have an image of that color palette. I can drop that image in, and there's my palette. I'm going to shrink it down, stick it up at the top. I can toggle it on or off if I don't want to see it anymore. But essentially I want it. So I'm going to now select the pug and hit the layer mask option so that I can only work on the pug and not the background. I'm using the magic wand tool, and now that I have to make sure I have the pug layer selected, now I can click part of the pug. Right now I'm just selecting the zipper. Okay, I'm going to go to Layer, New Layer Fill, and I'm going to choose one of the colors in my palette. I can actually now choose a layer mode, and the opacity choice will let me readjust the color in that area. I'm repeating this step for other areas in the dog. Now I'm doing the eyes. So layer fill. I'm doing a nice blue color here. You can always come back later and change the blend mode. Right now I'm going to do lighter color, adjust the opacity. I repeat this step for all the different parts of the dog. So I'm going to move on and try some of the fur. The shadows in the fur is what I'm picking on. I'm going to grab some of the shadows in the jacket as well. Again, new layer fill. I'm labeling it shadows. I'm choosing a color from my palette and playing around with hard mix or color dodge are very fun. And of course, don't forget to adjust the opacity. Repeat this step so that you can adjust all the colors in your dog. And by choosing some of the layers I've already done before, I can layer a new effect over top. Notice that hard mix is very nice, especially if I bring the opacity down. So I'm going to keep going. I'm getting some of the highlights on the dog's fur. I'm going to grab some of the colors in the jacket as well. Again, just a few little things to kind of bring those colors elsewhere. New layer fill, this time highlights. I keep repeating this step. I can actually reorder these layers, so notice that once I'm happy with the highlight choice and the opacity, I can click and drag the highlight and see if I like it above or below some of the other layers. Last thing I want to do is the jacket. So I'm selecting parts of the jacket that I have. I'm trying to actually grab the whole jacket because I haven't done anything to the jacket yet. And I think I'm going to put the blue in there. and I'll save the pink for the background. So hard mix, and now opacity down to 38. Now the background. I'm going to use that pink color because I really haven't done a lot with the pink, and it really contrasts well with the yellows and blues that I have. I am going to warm it up just a little bit, and I'm happy with it. That's my finished pug. Maybe I'll adjust a few things like the eye color, but largely that's great. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Enjoy Pop Art Pugs. Don't forget to export as a PNG and turn in that PNG file into Google Classroom. And don't forget to save your regular file as well.